Easter Monday dawned as a day of grief in the world when the sad news about the demise of Pontiff Francis was announced by the Camerlengo in the Vatican. Time check was 7:35 a.m. when the 88-year-old Pontiff Francis took his last breath hours after his historic resurrection of Jesus Christ.
And he could not have chosen a better day, because Easter for us Christians is the triumph of life over death.
In our conversation with the different clerics in the Catholic faith, we met Father Tonino of Pasolini, the communications coordinator for Arua Diocese, who is blessed to have had physical interactions with the fallen Pontiff Francis. Father Tonino describes Pontiff Francis as a man of peace who was able to freely share his love with the prisoners, the poor, and any other class of people.
When he wanted to go to South Sudan, he talked to me. I met him in 2014, in November. I was in Rome, and in the morning I went to pray with Pope Francis in the private small chapel. We were about 24 people, 25 people. He welcomed one by one to say a few words. And with me, I was so happy to see him, to touch him. And also I said, I want you to come to Uganda. So that also I hope that you come to West Nile. We will host you on our radio.
The Pontiff also served as the Bishop of Rome. However, during his reign, he encountered several challenges, but with the grace of God, he managed to overcome them.
Many people in the Catholic Church resisted him, because from the very beginning, he chose one name that no other pope has ever chosen: Francis. Why? Because of remembering Francis of Assisi, the one, that simple person in Assisi who was called by God to reform the church that at the time was corrupt, was too worldly, like we are a power. Instead, the gospel tells differently, that we Christians, we have to wash the feet of other people, meaning we have to become servants of other people. So for people who were dignitaries, as we call them, it didn't go well, but he continued to pursue this, to really bring the church to believe in the core of the gospel. And the core of the gospel are the poor. Blessed are the poor because are loved by God. This does not mean that everybody has to be poor. No, but those who are poor, those who are at the margins, they have to be very important to the ministry and the care of those who are followers of Jesus. One thing that really also put him in problems was the love for the refugees from Africa, that they were crossing the Mediterranean and exploited by some evil people because they started the journey from Libya. And they asked a lot of money for these people to go to Europe, but the first place would be a small island that belongs to Italy called Lampedusa. And it is Italian, that is part of the Italy. And so that was the place where they wanted to reach, first of all. But many died. They say that in the last 10 years, more than 40,000 people have died in the Mediterranean. So that also caused problems, from politicians who were not in agreement with his vision.
However, following the death of Pontiff Francis, the debate on who occupies the vacuum of the fallen pontiff as the 267th Pope of the Roman Catholic Empire is on. Father Tonino shares with us the procedure of appointing a new pontiff.
They are a college of cardinals, with one called Camerlengo, that is the one that has to supervise all the activities for the burial and so on. But I know that there are more than 100. They come from 29 different countries in the world. And afterward, there will be a conclave, meaning all those have to be not older than 80 years old, okay? Those have the capacity of choosing our new leader in the future. So that is called the conclave. They will be alone in the Sistina Chapel of St. Peter, and how many days we don't know. Can be 2 days, can be 3 days, can be 4 days, so that they will present, they will listen to one another, what is now our vision, the Bishop of Rome, because the Pope is first of all the Bishop of Rome. And being the Bishop of Rome is the successor of Peter, and is called to keep the communion of all the churches in the world.